easiest way to quit is to compare yourself to somebody else. I don't make a lot of content for men. Twirl around on 3 fingers and the answer will come to you. Hello, lovey. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to sit and chat with you virtually. And if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Funmi Ford. I am a content creator based out of Birmingham, Alabama, but she's a Niger babe. She is a Niger babe. I was born in Nigeria. I'm a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a content creator. And this channel is all about fashion, travel, food, beauty, and content creation. One of the playlists that we're going to have is going to be called Bunch of Creatives. So today we're taking the fashion hat off for a minute and we are talking to creators that want to become content creators. We're talking to people who want to get into content creation as a job or as a secondary source of income. So if that's something you're interested in, if fashion, food, travel, or content creation is something you're interested in, definitely hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you as part of my community as we grow together and we get to know each other. It's going to be a beautiful journey and I want you to be a part of it. So hit subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you'll be notified when I come out with a new video. And like I said, today we are doing something a little bit different and we are talking about how to become a content creator. Woohoo! This should be so much fun. This is something I talk about on my TikTok, on my Instagram. One of my goals in life, one of the things that I love to do is to teach. I love helping other people do what I do. Could you imagine having a secondary source of income that brings in $10,000, $5,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 extra a month? Like a lot of people can't even fathom that. And a lot of people don't even know what an influencer, a blogger, or a content creator is. There are times I go places and people ask me what I do and I tell them, hey, I'm a content creator. And they're still in 2021 asking me, what is that? How do you make money? Like I remember there was a TikTok trend where a woman asked, how do you ladies make money? And all you do is take pictures all day or create content all day. And a lot of creators replied back to her and kind of told them how they made money, how they supported their lifestyle. Content creation is a billion-dollar industry. There was an article written about it. It's becoming a fast-growing, not even becoming, it is a fast-growing industry. And it's an industry that if you've ever been interested in, this is the time to put your foot in the water and go for it. And don't worry that it's oversaturated. The bread aisle is oversaturated. And people are still coming out with new loaves of bread every single day. So don't worry that there's so many people creating content. There's so many people doing it. Why should I start a YouTube? Why should I start an Instagram? Why should I start a TikTok? If you worry about that, you'll never do it. But if you focus on bringing some sort of value to whatever platform you're on, you're going to do well. So today we are talking about how to become a content creator. As this series goes on, this is going to be the Bunch of Creatives series and playlist, and you'll see that playlist as it goes on. We're going to talk about how to make money. We're going to talk about affiliate. We're going to talk about how to read your contracts. We're going to talk about paid usage versus whitelisting. There's so many things that we're going to talk about as the series goes on. But if you are already a content creator and you're saying, sis, what are those words? What is whitelisting? I have a blog post and I'm going to link it down below that kind of tells you what the verbs, what the words are that I just used and what they mean to you as a creator. So I have a bunch of blog posts that are going to help. I'm going to list my top trending blog posts down below so you can go watch it if you want to be ahead of the curve in this series. So let's get into it first. I do have my handy dandy notebook and I have my pen, and I am ready to like go over the list of things that I have and to really teach as well as learn. If you have any gems that you want to put, like Clubhouse says, if you have any gems you want to drop it in the comments. A lot of you guys are content creators that are on this channel, so you have knowledge. You have a wealth of knowledge that you want to give. Put it in the comments so that other people can learn. One thing that I do want to say is we are not going to gatekeep knowledge on this channel, right? We are not going to gatekeep knowledge. When I first started out as a content creator, nobody would help me. Like, I think there was only one influencer that I could ever reach out to that helped me. But everybody else I reached out to, they were like, well, sis, pray about it. Twirl around on 3 fingers and the answer will come to you. When I would ask them, well, how much do I charge for this? They were like, well, sprinkle some dust on it and the answer will be in the dust. Like, they would give me the most vague answers about how to do what they were doing. And I realized I had to find the knowledge for myself. So Google became my best friend. YouTube became my best friend. And I decided when I could help, I was going to give out free game. So my website has so much stuff. People sell master classes for what you can learn on the internet. And I'm not saying anything against a master class. I know amazing creators that have amazing classes, but some of them, honey, straight off Google into their master class, and they just took $1,200 of your money, or $200 or $70 for an ebook, what they copied and pasted from Google. That's not everybody. There's some creators that make great classes that help. I always say, if you want to do something and you want to do it well, invest in schooling for it, right? I did it on my own because I just like to research. But there's some people that, you don't want to research. You want somebody to kind of walk you through it. Invest in a master class, but invest in a class where that person has already been helping you. Invest in a class where they're already giving out free game on their website. Invest in a class where somebody else told you, oh my God, I took her class and I made so-and-so. I'm this here because of her. And do your research before you invest in some of these content creators' classes. But that's beside the point. That's a disclaimer. I'm going to do a lot of disclaimers on this channel because of sis I kind of like just say it how it is. So when you want to get into content creation, when I first started, I had no idea that people were getting paid. I had no idea. I loved clothes. I've always loved clothes. When I moved here from Africa, I didn't speak English. When I wore things that the girls liked, that's when they would talk to me. I got picked on a lot. I was short. We went to Deeper Life. If you're Nigerian, you know Deeper Life. You know that church. We were holiness, so you could only wear skirts. You couldn't perm your hair. You couldn't wear lipstick. You couldn't wear earrings. You couldn't wear makeup. Everything was going to send you to hell. And I mean, I learned a lot of things in that church, but when we came out of it, we were able to do more stuff. I was able to make more friends. I had to go to school in skirts. I had to go to school with no makeup. I mean, I was already different, and then I was showing up with a long skirt down to my knees. Of course, the kids picked on me and my sister. But whenever I wore something that they thought was cool, whenever I put an outfit together that was different, it just was a talking point. So fashion became like my universal language. So when I started my Instagram page, it was not a blog. It was really just Instagram. All I did was put up pretty pictures. I would put pretty pictures. It would get reposted. I would put, it just was like, look at me. Look at my outfit. Look how I can put my outfit together. That's all it was, but it was so cute and I enjoyed it. I didn't do it to grow. I didn't do it to make money. I did it just because I really, really loved fashion. As I've grown, I've realized that I have to add value to the lives of the people that follow me, right? My page is me, and it's the things that I love, but it's also me teaching other people how to dress. It's also me teaching people how to create content. It's also me teaching people how to make money. It's also me teaching people how to do what I do It's me teaching people how to balance life. It's everything that I do, but in a way that anybody else can do it because I'm teaching you how I do it. So for a content creator, I say a great content creator marries what they love with what their audience is looking for. So when you first get into content creation, I want you to sit down. When you say, Funmi, this sounds like something I want to do. I want the disposable income. I want to help people. I want to talk about fashion. I want to talk about food. I want to teach people how to become entrepreneurs. Whatever it is, if you say this is something I feel like I could do, figure out why you want to do it. Let me say that again. If you get into content creation for the money, you're going to be miserable. I didn't make money for years. I didn't even know you could make money. That was the thing. I didn't know you could make money. So for years, I was just putting out content. I was really a stylist and I was making money as a stylist. And I didn't know you could make money putting stuff on Instagram or on YouTube or wherever. So you have to figure out your why. There are content creators that have been doing it for years and still don't make the money that can support their lifestyle. So if you're going into it for the money, don't go into it. If you're going into it for free clothes, don't go into it. If you're going into it to be famous, to be one of the mean girls walking around here thinking they're everything, please, I beg, don't do it. We don't need any more. But if you're going into it because you are passionate about something and you are passionate about helping other people do what you do, woo, sis, let me roll out the red carpet because this is the business for you. If you say, Funmi, I love to cook and I want to show women that cooking doesn't have to be hard, this is the business for you. If you say, Funmi, I love clothes and I want to show women that you can be curvy and still be bad, this is for you. If you say, Funmi, I'm an entrepreneur and I want to show other entrepreneurs how to use social media to capture their audience, this is for you. If you go into it wanting to help others, you will do better than 90% of the people who go into it for money. Because the money may never come. And what are you going to quit? But if you go into it with a purpose, and the purpose is to help, or the purpose is to bring enjoyment, or the purpose is to bring laughter, or the purpose is to educate, you're going to do well. So sit down and figure out what your why is. After you figure out what your why is, figure out what your niche is going to be. I'm not one of those people that says that you have to stick with one thing the whole time, but I am one of those people that says you have to become an expert in one area before you bite off other areas of your content creation journey, right? There's an influencer that I love. She's one of the only YouTube people that I really have ever watched. Now that I'm on YouTube, I watch other YouTube creators, but before I came to YouTube for music, not to watch somebody's vlog. Patricia Bright was the only person that I ever watched religiously. Like I would just go watch her things whenever it came out. She used to be Brit Pop Princess. I don't know if you guys remember. And she was mostly just fashion and makeup. As she has grown and as her channel has grown, honey, a good sis talks about wellness. A good sis talks about her family. A good sis will talk about everything underneath the sun. Why? Because she became an expert in the area of fashion and beauty, and we grew to love her and to know her. So when she started branching out years later, after building this engaged audience, we were riding with her. She could have been talking about motorcycles, and I don't even know motorcycles, and I still would have tuned in to watch because it's Patricia Bright. When you first start out, you have to get a niche and you have to become an expert in that niche. So if you say, hey, Funmi, I want to be fashion, what do you know about fashion that's going to make me want to stay on your page? What do you know about fashion that's going to help me? That's going to make me want to subscribe, that's going to make me want to follow? What are you putting on your page that has to do with fashion that's going to captivate me, educate me, or help me in some way? Think about what your niche is going to be and then start creating content around that niche. So if your niche is fashion, create fashion content. 3 ways to style a blazer, 10 ways to style jeans, how to shop, how to thrift, how to put outfits together. Start creating that and become an expert in that space, right? So whenever you talk about fashion, people want to come watch. Whenever you put out a video, people share it because they say, oh, Funmi knows what she's talking about. Oh, this blogger knows what they're talking about because they've been doing fashion and doing it well for a while. Become an expert in the space so that people will trust you. Let's say you're a food blogger. Become an expert in the space of food. Put out videos, quick 10-minute recipes, how to grocery shop for a family of 6. Whatever it is that's going to help your audience, that's going to educate your audience, that's going to motivate your audience to want to cook, that's going to inspire your audience to learn. Start putting that content out there. And you know what? When they need a recipe, they're going to come to you. When their friend says, hey, I want to make pot roast, they're going to say, hey, have you heard about so-and-so blogger? If you want to be a travel blogger, create content around travel. Tell me how to travel for less. Tell me how to travel the most safest places to travel. Figure out what your niche is and start creating content that inspires, that motivates, and that educates. Those are the 3 things you want to do. Content that educates, you're telling me how to. You're telling me how to style my blazer. You're telling me how to cook. You're telling me how to travel for less. You're telling me the safest places to travel. You're educating me. You're using your channel to teach me something. Content that motivates. You're motivating me to get up and go. You're motivating me to dress up. You're motivating me to get my skin clear. You're motivating me to take care of my mental health, your wellness. You're motivating me to try different patterns. You're motivating me to try different hair colors, different eyeshadow palettes. You're motivating me to take an action. And then lastly, you're inspiring me. So you're inspiring me to be better. You're inspiring me to get up. You're inspiring me to look at a different way of doing things. You're inspiring me with content that makes me feel something. Have you ever been to an influencer's page and their content made you feel something? Their captions made you feel something. It almost moved you to tears or inspired you to go after that thing that you never thought you could do. When you figure out what your niche is, start creating content around that niche that inspires, motivates, and educates. That's it. It's so simple. And then you keep creating content like that. You keep putting out content like that. So figure out what your niche is. Figure out who your audience is going to be. When you think about business, they always tell you build a client avatar, right? Figure out who that woman, who that man is that you're going to talk to. You cannot talk to everybody. I don't know who told y'all that you could just be talking to everybody. Hey, everybody in the world. My content is for women because I'm married. I don't really need men to come to my page. They do, but I don't need them because I'm creating content for women. I'm showing women how to style. I'm also creating content for women that look like me. They're petite, they're curvy, they're probably a mom. So I have my target audience. When you go on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram and you want to do a promotion, they ask you who your target audience is. Like, you have to figure out who your audience is because you can't just target everybody. It's going to be too broad. So we have to think about that when we're creating content. Who is our audience going to be? A lot of you guys have been creating content, but you've never thought about, who am I actually talking to? Am I talking to a mom that's busy, that wants to be an entrepreneur, but also wants a second source of income? How do I talk to her? I'm going to talk to her differently than I talk to a man with 3 kids and a high-powered job. I'm going to talk to those 2 people totally different than I'm going to talk to a single woman who is looking to be married and on the dating scene, right? You see what I mean? You have to make sure that you are talking to somebody. So figure out who your audience is. First, you figure out your why. Then you figure out your niche. Then you figure out your audience. who is that person going to be? Now, your audience, people may come that aren't your target audience, but that's okay. The more the merrier. But you have to make sure you're talking to somebody. There's a TikToker, and I absolutely love her TikTok. She talks to nursing students. Her TikToks are mostly only for nursing students. I'm not a nursing student, so her content does not apply to me, but I still watch it, right? She doesn't try to talk to me, right? She's not like, today I'm doing nursing students, but tomorrow I'm going to be talking to the moms with 2 boys that live in the South. No, she knows her target audience. Now, if other people come, because maybe she's put a motivational TikTok video that applies to everybody, that's fine. But her bread and butter is nursing students. She talks to them about how to get into nursing, how to pass their classes, how not to get discouraged, what states pay the most. She has a targeted audience. And so when you get on YouTube, when you get on TikTok, when you get on Instagram, figure out who your target audience is and start creating content for that target audience, right? And you're going to speak to if you are speaking to a single women, you're going to talk to them a little bit different than if your target audience is family. If you're going to be a mom blogger, right? You're not really going to be creating content for a lot of single people. You're going to be creating content for a very niche group. Now, will your content draw maybe single women? Probably, but your bread and butter is going to be those moms that need your help or that need to be inspired, motivated, or educated. So figure out who your audience is. The next thing you need to understand, and y'all, these are just the basics. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. There's going to be a video where we talk about how to build a calendar. I'm going to have a calendar and we're going to go over how to build a calendar. If you are not a part of Instagram, go ahead and join my Instagram. I put out a monthly content calendar on my page that is so helpful, and you can always get that every single month. But right now, we're just doing the basics. The next thing you need to figure out is your frequency versus your consistency. So while you're sitting down and you're figuring out your why, you're figuring out your niche, you're figuring out your target audience, think about your consistency versus your frequency. People get this confused so much. Frequency is how much you're going to post. So if I say I'm going to post 7 days a week, that's my frequency level, right? A lot of people think consistency is frequency. When I say you have to be consistent, they think I'm telling them they have to post every day. Consistency is not that. That's frequency. Consistency is posting when you say you're going to post. So frequency is how many times you're going to post. Consistency is owning up to your word that you're going to post when you say you're going to post. So if your frequency level is 3 days a week, then your consistency, you have to be consistent those 3 days a week. Your frequency level is your choice. You need to make your frequency level based off of your schedule. How many times a day can you see yourself posting? How many times a week can you see yourself posting? Do you have enough content and enough time to create content to post every day? If not, maybe 3 days a week. If not, maybe 2 days a week. If not, maybe 1 day a week. Do understand, if you want to grow, your frequency level does have to go up. But when you're starting, figure out how many days you want to post that will not burn you out and cause you to quit. Do not promise yourself 7 days a week if you know you don't have 7 days a week in you. Be realistic, because a lot of times we quit because we've put too much undue pressure on ourselves that we know we can't do. So figure out how many days a week is doable for you. Your frequency level is going to be different than my frequency level, than Billy Bob's frequency level. But our consistency has to be the same. My consistency level has to be the same as yours. So if you say, Funmi, I can only do 2 days a week, then be consistent. If you say on Monday, Wednesday, you need to be posting. Your audience needs to know to look for you. So you're training your audience to look for you those days. That's why YouTube, they say come up with a schedule. If you're going to do Monday, Wednesdays, every Monday and Wednesday, have a video out. I'm Wednesday and Sundays. Come rain or shine, there's going to be a video, right? Every Wednesday and every Sunday, unless something happens. I also make sure that I batch shoot my content so that I have content in the hole and I'm never rushing to create. And we're going to do a video on how to batch create as well. But my frequency level on Instagram is pretty much 6 days a week. My frequency level, and that's my consistency level as well. If I say I'm going to show up 6 days a week, I'm going to show up 6 days a week. So figure out what your frequency is and then be consistent with it. Teach your audience to come look for you those days. Because you know what, after a while, you don't even have to announce that there's a YouTube video. Because they know that Funmi puts out a video every Sunday and every Wednesday. They know that you put out a video every Monday, Wednesday. They know you put out an Instagram post every Tuesday, Thursday. So they're going to come looking for you on those days because you have taught them your consistency level and your frequency level. So be consistent. Figure out what your frequency level is. The next thing I want you to focus on is building an engaged audience. This one takes time, y'all, right? Let me just tell you, I know influencers that have gone viral with 100,000 followers that aren't making 30,000 a year. And I know influencers with 30,000 followers making 70,000 a year. It's not about how fast you grow. It's not about how big you are. Yes, numbers does help. Having a large following does help. But at the end of the day, you can make money with the audience you have if your audience is engaged. If you've built an audience that trusts you. That's why I said, first of all, make sure you figure out who your audience is and then figure out how you can bring something of value into their lives. How you can educate, motivate, and inspire them. You're building trust, and trust takes time. Unless you're a celebrity or you're on a TV show and people are just gonna buy from you and just follow you because you have name recognition. The rest of us don't have that. We have to build over time. So build an audience that is engaged and that trusts you. That means commenting back. That means forming community with other influencers. That means going on your followers' posts and the people in your community, going in their posts, talking back to them, commenting on their stuff, loving on them, sending them DMs, not just hearting the DMs or the messages they sent you when they reply on your TikTok video. Don't just put a heart. Actually comment back. Join, have conversations with them. Let them know that you want to hear their opinion and you want to talk to them. Build trust and build community with them. That is the next thing you need to focus on as you grow on these platforms is build community and build trust. That means if you're putting links out there, make sure they're links that you've actually shopped from. If you are recommending something, recommend things that you actually love and you actually use. Don't just do it for the money. Do it because you actually love it. Because you know what? When you recommend something that is great, the next time when you recommend again, they're going to go back and they're going to say, well, the first one was great. The second one is going to be just as amazing. You have to build trust, and trust takes time. Trust takes consistency, and trust takes building relationships. So take the time, sis. It doesn't matter how long it takes. One thing I'm going to tell you is don't look at other people's journey. As a content creator, the worst thing you could do is look to your left and your right to see what sister girl or brother child is doing. The easiest way to quit is to compare yourself to somebody else. It's to compare your YouTube channel, your TikTok channel, your Instagram page, your content to somebody else's content. If you want to quit, do that. Because comparison is a killer of dreams, right? You have to focus on your journey, you have to focus on your audience, and you have to stay in your lane, and you will see the growth come. Consistency will always bring growth. So build that trust factor. Become an expert in the area that you are in. And how you become an expert is by talking about things. It's by helping people. It's by giving them recommendations that they would have never even thought about. It's by showing them how to style that piece they never thought they could style. It's doing videos to show them how to cook that meal that they never even knew existed, right? Teaching them something that they did not know they needed, showing them a new way to do something that's a little bit easier. You are becoming an expert in your area. And again, that takes time, and that takes you building community and being frequent and being consistent with your content. So become an expert. And then, of course, talk about the brand you love. That is probably the last thing we're going to talk about, since this was just an introductory into content creation. Talk about the brands that you love. As you build your page, you're going to be using brands. Nobody builds a business in a void, right? They're brands that help you. If you want to, let's say you're a lawyer influencer, right? What are some of the things that help? What are some of the programs that help you? What are some of the things that you use in your office? Is it Office Max? Is it Amazon? Is it, what's the pen you're using? There's so many things that you could talk about as a lawyer influencer that helps make your life easier. If you're a food blogger, where do you shop? Is it Publix? Is it Walmart? Is it Target? Where do you find your goods? If you are fashion, oh sis, all day, these earrings, this top, you could talk about the different things organically that you love. And then what you do is you tag the brands that you love in your posts and in your stories. That's how, first of all, you're building credibility with your audience, because they see you wearing it. And when the time comes for you to do a collaboration with that brand, they're going to be like, well, dang, Funmi has been wearing Amazon for years. This just makes sense. Dang, Billy Bob has been talking about, Rachel Ray plates for years. This collaboration makes sense. You're building trust with your audience as you talk about the brands that you love. And not only that, the brands are seeing you building content organically for them. Think about me and you going up for a job offer as an influencer. I've been talking about, Billy Bob's cookware for 10 years. Or not 10 years, for a year. You've never talked about Billy Bob's cookware. There's nowhere in your stories have you ever talked about them. That brand has me and you. And the only deciding factor is, have you talked about the brand before? Or do you love the brand? Well, when they go to my page, they'll see all these tags. They go to your page and nothing, no stories, nothing. They're probably going to go with me. And it's going to make sense because they can see themselves on my page because I've already put them on my page. So as you are building your content, mention the brands organically. I'm not saying do a whole post, but mention them in your stories, right? If you're wearing something, tag them in it. Organically talk about the brand, and the brands will start to notice you as you go. The next video, we're going to talk about how to make money using affiliate links and affiliate platforms. So this is it for this video. I really hope that it helped. Again, if you want to get into content creation, rewatch this video, share this video with somebody that wants to be a content creator or already is a content creator but is stumbling or has quit along the way. I am here to help you. This playlist, again, is going to be called Bunch of Creatives, and we're going to be talking about how to get into your bag as a content creator and how to grow an engaged and beautiful community. My name is Funmi Ford. I hope this helped you in some way. Save this video, share it, and I will see you next time. If you're not a part of this community, hit the subscribe button. We want you as a part of our family. And you guys, I will see you soon. Bye.